This is the TSLA 1 month overview reading for January 2023. It's currently January 4th, 2023, 6:07 p.m. We're redoing this reading because I had the dates off, so I want to make sure that I clarified for everybody the proper dates. Same sequence events, but I'm going to be doing this over with proper dates here. These are the proper dates, I mean. So with that said, guys, Tesla is currently at $113.64. I believe it was like 111 when I did the reading originally. We have as the overall theme and behavior for the month of January, sideways S formation that forms within a channel. It looks like we have a decline from a resistance to a support reversal, and going all the way back to resistance, and then we do another reversal and we go all the way back to support. So it's like within a channel. Usually it's a horizontal channel, but sometimes it's at an angle too. It could be like trend lines versus resistance and support. But that's the overall theme, and it's crossed with a notable move to the upside as I pull the card, to certain cards like the Magus card and the Fool card. I'll pull another card because they're like maybe cards. They could go either way. So I pull another card, and that gives me an idea of direction. And both times that I pulled the card for the Fool, in this case, it's been notably bullish. So we have a significant move to the upside in the midst of that. No barking, Hermes. No barking. Hermes, no barking. Sorry, guys. And then it looks like the behavior around the highest high, it's also a significantly auspicious opportunity, unexpected, improbable opportunity at the high here, which looks to be around the 9th, 10th, the highest high in any case. And the behavior around the highest high will either be coming out of a decline, or there'll be quite a bit of negative headwinds, and people will be expecting us to continue lower or to go lower, but instead we'll move higher, possibly even breaking through resistance, at least momentarily. And that's like in the face of seemingly overwhelming headwinds. That's the behavior into the high. So when we see a notable high and we're trying to determine if that's the highest high, we're going to want to make sure that we see that type of behavior, because otherwise it's clearly not. And behavior around the lowest low, we have a decline from a key support level on a 1 month chart down to a second support level on a 1 month chart scale, and then we rotate sideways along that support. All right, so we have the second off basically because of the New Year's. And then on the third, we have three crisscrosses back and forth through the same price level. Looks like we probably come out of a lowest low there on the third, when rotating sideways along support. There's three crisscrosses through the same price level there on the third, and that confirms a bullish trend, at least momentarily. On the fourth, we have the devil card. So there's a notable an intentional fake out, shakeout of some kind, something maybe like an indicator falsely triggered to indicate something, that creates an impulsive decision on the part of the retail investor. It's intentional, be careful. Looks like it's a lot of back and forth behavior there, with a prominent trough on the 5th. We possibly have a lowest low there on the cusp of the 4th, 5th, or on the 5th. And then there's also a prominent crest there on the 5th. So we go out of a notable move out of the low to successfully turn old resistance on a 1 month chart into new support. And that's on the 5th, a prominent crest. On the 6th, we have multiple failed attempts to break through key resistance. Again, key resistance on the scale of a 1 month chart. And that's another prominent crest there towards the end of the day. It looks like we may fall off pretty notably at the end of the day, fall off a cliff. And then on the 9th, Ace of Swords marks a resistance level that's a key technical price level. It looks like it's the highest high there. Often the Ace of Swords will be a highest high, not always, but in the case of this month, it looks like it's the highest high. So on the cusp of the 9th or the 10th should be the highest high. And it'll be a key resistance level, and a notable move to meet that resistance. There'll be quite a bit of volatility and some sort of price action on the 9th that'll allow, if one's nimble enough, to position themselves in both directions. So looks like probably the following month we have this breakout card. The victory card is a breakout card, so that might be a good opportunity or a good price level to utilize as like a midpoint for a straddle or strangle. We have the unicursal on the 10th, so there's a critical resistance level there that's highlighted, and then looks like we fall off a cliff from that resistance level and have the lowest low on the cusp of the 10th, 11th. There's a big move out of a low on the 11th. Looks like midday that it really starts, but there's like a U-shaped dip there on the 11th that forms near the intersection of two perpendicular diagonal trend lines. On the 12th, we have a period of volatility with a sharp dip that stands out in that period of volatility. It'll stand out on a 1 month scale. Brings us to the lowest low, looks like at the cusp of the 12th and the 13th. On the 13th, we have sideways rotation along a key support on a 1 month chart that gradually increases with bearish momentum as we move forward in time. There's also a significant trade opportunity there on the 13th, which I'll get into in the paid version, guys. We have the 16th off for Martin Luther King. On the 17th, that period of volatility ends with a fast sudden move higher. And then on the 18th, it looks like that rally ends on the 18th with a notable move to the downside towards the end of the day or overnight to reach another prominent trough there. The following day, on the 19th, we have two prominent moves, one to the upside, followed by shortly thereafter a move back down that'll be like a full retracement of the move all the way up. So like wherever we started that big move higher, we'll retrace all the way back to that price level, and it'll create like a triangular shape on a chart with it looks like a prominent peak or crest there towards the mid to end of the day. The following day, we have a merger, an acquisition of some kind that's highlighted, either that or a holding pattern due to well, we probably have a holding pattern there in either case, but a decision between two leaders possibly. There's a holding pattern usually with a popper drop there, and then looks like towards the end of the day we have a notable decline over the weekend. On the 23rd, another one of those moves through the upside, like a full retracement of a move higher. So we move higher through resistance, we stay above it briefly, and then we break back down through the same price level shortly thereafter with a full retracement. It makes like a capital A shape in the English language, with the price level being the horizontal line through the A. On the 24th, another prominent high, another prominent crest here. I'm advised to open up some protection. And we move higher through resistance, stay above it briefly, and then we break back down to the same price level. It's likely the same price level as the 23rd. On the 25th, we have a period of sideways rotation that ends with a fast sudden move higher. On the 26th, a notable move higher out of a lowest low there, like on the cusp of the 26th, 27th. A notable move higher, and a trade opportunity I'll get into in the paid version as well. And on the 27th, we have a notable decline that offers an opportunity again to trade as well. I'll get into that in the paid version. On the 30th, notable moves along key resistance on a 1 month chart. We may break through resistance, bump along resistance, break through resistance, bump along resistance. It's definitively bullish. And then the following day on the 31st, I'm advised to be cautious. Even though there's a trade to be made there, I'm advised to be cautious. There's price swings and multiple false bottoms there on the 31st. But again, like I said, the following month, there's a notable breakout to the upside on the scale of a 1 month chart at least. And that's the overall behavior and highs and lows for Tesla throughout the month of January. Stay tuned for the Q&A portion where we get into the price levels and extrapolate some extra information about the relative levels of the highs and the lows and where they're located on the calendar. And then for those of you with the paid version, after that we get into the section where we talk about the best trades, what we see, and how to do them. With that said, guys, make sure you follow that rule of karma. Super important that you follow the rule of karma. The way that you follow the rule of karma, guys, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to the video on our website explaining the rule of karma. It's super important if you plan to profit from the information, that you follow this rule of karma every single time you make money. You go to PayPal and you send 5% of the profits back to the channel. Now, if this was a Wall Street broker giving you information that's not nearly as reliable as what we're giving you, they would be charging you 3% in, as much as 4% in, and probably like 3%, 2.5 to 3% out. And that's of the total investment, not of the profits. They make money either way. I make a little bit of money, provided that you follow the rule of karma, and that's only if you make money. That's the way it should be. So make sure you follow that rule of karma, where the universe shuts off that flow of profits, guys. Make sure that the other piece of that rule of karma is to send a little bit of that money forward somewhere. Keep the flow going for the universe. But with that said, you can also do Cash App. That's another easy way. Thanks for watching, my friends. I'll see you on the next one. Stay tuned for that Q&A. This is the Q&A portion for price level information. And for those of you that are interested, the January Tesla 1 month overview readings shuffle file was created December 28th, 2022, 3:48 p.m. That's this file right here. This is the TSLA 1-month overview reading for the month of January 2023. That's Tesla Inc. It's currently December 28th, 2022, approximately 3:45 p.m. Eastern Time. TSLA at the time of this reading is $111.46. Very auspicious number there. All right. I'm doing this over, so I had the dates wrong, so let's see if I get the same answers here. Is TSLA's highest price level of January 2023 taking place on January 9th, 2023? Yes. Actually, no, that's a maybe. So possibly another location. Does TSLA's highest price level of January 2023 take place in more than one day of January 2023? No. Okay, so does TSLA's highest price level of January 2023 take place on January 10th, 2023? Yes. Does TSLA's highest price level of January 2023 take place on the cusp of the 9th and 10th of January 2023? Yes. Okay, so that's where the high is. It's right around the cusp there. Yeah, we also have some other indications of the high being there. So it's like, it's 9th, 10th, right around there we have the highest high price level. Doesn't look like there's a lot of other places that Eso-Meta is saying, pointing out as prominent highs, but there are quite a few prominent highs. We should see one, looks like on the 5th, on the 6th. So we have a big move out of a low on the 5th. So definitely a prominent crest or peak on the 6th. A prominent crest or peak is a peak that stands out, or a crest that stands out on a chart, but isn't the highest high, just to be clear, okay? And the same thing goes for a prominent low or trough. It's a trough or a low that stands out on the chart, but isn't the lowest low. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 5th, 2023? No. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 4th, 2023? Yes. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place in more than one day of January 2023? Yes. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on more than 2 days of January 2023? Yes. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on 4 days of January 2003? Yes. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on more than 4 days of more than 4 separate days of January 2023? And another location somewhere. One, two, three, four. Let me do that one again. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on more than 4 separate days of January 2023? Got a yes. Or, well, that's actually a maybe. Interesting. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 3rd, 2023? Yes. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 13th, 2023? That's a no. Let's see. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 12th, 2023? I got a yes with Claire Kinetics. That kind of makes sense there too. These are all off just slightly as I do them again because we were off by a day on the date. I started with the Monday as the first when I went through this the first time. So it's really uncanny that we're getting I'm getting oh, it's next to the day that you have marked. Makes so much sense. Just TSLA's, it's going to be hard to mark up though properly. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 27, 2023? I got a maybe, so it's probably right there on the cusp too. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 26, 2023? Yeah, there you go. So that one on the 27th is right around here. And for those of you that don't know the color code system for Eso-Meta, we have a book on Amazon Kindle on the website tarotfortraders.com. It's currently on sale. I believe it's $27. It's normally $55. It's the only book of its kind in anywhere close to the same depth. There's 3 other books about tarot and the stock market. None of them were written by an ex-Wall Street broker like yours truly. So with that said, there's also definitively more and much more detailed information specific to trading and tarot in that book. But it also goes over the Eso-Meta analysis system. When I have a filled in star, that indicates, if it's a red star, it indicates most likely location of the lowest low, and if I have a filled in transparent green star, it's the most likely location of the highest high. So I'm going to kind of do this. That way I'm getting that right. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on any other day in January 2023? Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on any day in January 2023 other than all days already indicating a lowest low with a red star? Yes, okay. Does TSLA's lowest price level of January 2023 take place on January 11th, 2023? Yes. So some pretty strong, looks like probably some pretty strong support here. And a prominent crest that we fall off of. It's a sideways S, so we should have a decline into an incline into a decline, and then it's crossed with a big unexpected move. Looks like higher. I'm going to mark a prominent crest, not a highest crest, but a prominent crest, because I'm picking up on it. So a prominent crest is indicated by a green star, but it's not filled in. And I'm going to put one right here. And I'm doing this during retrograde, guys, so be very, very careful if you plan on trading with this stuff. Might as well do prominent troughs too. So that's pretty much Tesla's price levels, guys. Let me know what you think by hitting that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Most importantly, my friends, make sure you follow that rule of karma. Now, if you're watching the paid version, stay tuned. We're going to get into the portion where we talk about the best trades that we see throughout the month. If you aren't watching the paid version, you're interested in getting the paid version of Tesla. When you pay for Tesla, it comes out. You get it roughly a week, if not earlier, a week ahead of the public version that comes out on the on YouTube. But the other thing is that it also has the paid version. It has the paid trades, like the best trades that we see, whereas the public version does not. And most importantly, if you're planning on utilizing this information, I mean, it's only $29, guys. The way that you do it is you go to our services yearly. I mean, you should support the channel, right? $29 a month, and that's going up. Actually, we were saying February 9th. But in actuality, it looks like it's probably going to be January 19th. We're going to raise the price of basically everything on the website and grandfather in anybody who has lower prices. Those will be grandfathered in. So Eso-Meta forecasts, and then you click here for your forecast. Put in the ticker that you're looking for. Click $29 subscription and subscribe now, and that'll get you the free version ahead of everybody else. It'll guarantee that there's a monthly for that, because if it's not a paid version, it's not guaranteed that even a public will come out. And most importantly, guys, you'll be supporting the channel. You better believe you notice that we remember the names of the people that are actually supporting the channel and allowing for us to have these readings come out. Much appreciated for all of those people. For everybody else, make sure you follow that rule of karma. And you got to follow that rule of karma every single time you make money. It's not like, oh, let me put it off until later. The universe will shut off your profits almost instantaneously, guys. And that's not me doing it. That's the universe. It's innate within the system of Eso-Meta. So please follow that rule of karma and don't disappoint yourself. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one.